Hey, good morning YouTube. Finally we got a nice day. It's actually above 40 degrees today, which is great. Seems like the first time I've been able to take the plow off in months. So today we're going to do some much needed maintenance on the truck. Actually, it's not due for it yet, but I've been wanting to try to put in this Rev X oil treatment in, and I didn't want to put it in with you know, half-life of the oil left. I want to just replace the oil, so we're going to do an oil change and put in the Rev X. And so what we got here is the original oil filter, which you definitely want to use. I've heard nothing but horror stories with Wix oil filters and other stuff like that about the O-ring blowing out and stuff. So you want to use the Motorcraft one, and then we're going to use this Rotella 1540 oil, and the truck takes 15 quarts. So we're going to have 1 quart left out of this 4 gallons here. So I'm going to go ahead and drain the oil, and then we're going to get to it. So hang on. All right. So first thing we did is pull the 19mm drain plug out, and then we're going to come up here and pull the filter out. Filter takes I think a 35mm socket, but 1 7/16 works. It's a little bit loose, but shouldn't be that much of a problem. Let's pull this out here, and what we're doing now is once we pull this out, it'll let this reservoir drain out into the pan, so that if I went and drained the oil from underneath and then put the plug back in and then did this after, get a whole bunch of contaminated oil down in there. So pull this off and let this all drain out, and then we'll go ahead and do the oil change. And the one thing you're going to notice with this having the right cap on and filter is that when I get to the end of this, it's spring loaded. See that? It tells me that I'm getting a good seal. And in fact, as soon as I let that loose, I could hear a whole bunch of oil run into the pan down below. So that you know, broke that seal, and then it let all the oil go out. So you're going to want to make sure that when you put your new filter in, that you have this. If you don't, then you have the wrong size cap on there because somebody had a longer filter in there before. So just make sure you have that. I'm going to go ahead and pull this out with 2 hands because it's oily, and get the new one in, and we'll show that. Okay, once you have the new cap, your kit comes with another O-ring. So you're going to want to get this O-ring out of here, and just get in there with a small screwdriver or a little pick like I have, and just pull the old O-ring out. This one's still in decent shape because, you know, I did change the oil probably, I don't know, a couple months ago, and it was I probably only have, I don't know, 1,500 miles on it. So put the new O-ring in. Very simple, just slide it on. Okay, and then with the new oil, I'm just going to lay a little bit of oil on here, and then you know, snap the filter in here. There's the top and the bottom. These little prongs here snap into the filter, or into the filter housing, so they just pop in there like that. Nice click. And then before I do anything, I'm just going to stick it back in the reservoir just to make sure that this is the right size filter, to look for that spring loaded. So pop it on here over the standpipe, and you can see that it is. So that's the right filter. So what I'm going to do now is just put some oil on this, and then before I even put this in, we got to pull the standpipe off because I'm going to add the Rev X right to the reservoir. So just hang on for that. Alright, now we're going to get to the portion of what this video is meant for, adding the Rev X. I'm doing it the way to introduce the Rev X straight to the injectors instead of mixing with the oil first. And the way to do that is under the standpipe. What you'll notice is under here there's a couple little tabs, spring-loaded plunger there that when the oil pushes down, blocks that off so that doesn't bypass the oil filter, and now it uses the oil filter. When you have the shorter oil filter and that spring is up, it just bypasses the filter. So that's why it's crucial to get the right size filter. But over on this side is a T27 hex head, or Torx bolt, and we're going to pull that out. we're going to pull the standpipe out to get to the hole underneath it that directs it right to the injector. So let me get this out. Alright, now that that bolt is out, you can use a magnet. I couldn't find mine, so I just used a long pair of needle nose. You got to get that bolt out first before you can pull the standpipe out, because the standpipe turns a half a click to get it out of the hole. So you got to just grab a hold of it. It just turns just a little bit, and then the whole standpipe comes right out. So let this drain off a little bit. Shouldn't be too bad. Alright, so now that the standpipe is out, you see the hole right down in the center there. That's where we're going to pour our Rev X. It's going to go right straight to the injectors. So let me get this in there. Alright, you're not going to be able to see it because I can't get a good opening for it, but just put I just put a hole in it like this, and then what we can do is just get myself up on here. I'm going to pour this right down in that hole. Right dead center down the hole. 2 bottles of this, and then we can go ahead and put the filter back in. Alright, so there's one. Just poke a little hole with my finger, and then just a little relief hole at the back end, and then dump this down in there. Didn't spill a drop on the outside of the hole, which is good. Not that it matters, but alright. So now that that's in there, we can go ahead and put the standpipe back in. Standpipe has 3 tabs. One the bolt goes in, and then the other 2 are the locking. So you can look down in there and you can see it fits over the top like that. There's a little O-ring, so you just put a little pressure on it and just turn it. Now it's in there. So now I'm going to take my needle nose here, put this bolt back in the hole, and tighten it down. You definitely don't want to be losing this thing. Come on, you. Alright, there it goes. Okay. Like I said, it's a T27. I think I said it's T27. Yeah, T27. Don't go crazy, tighten this down, it's just plastic. Just get it snug and just, you can feel it kind of locked down. Alright, so now that's out of there, we can go ahead and put the filter in. I already put some oil on the O-ring. Some oil on the O-ring, and then this pops right down in here. And remember, we got that spring-loaded action there, so that means it's the right filter, the right cap. Okay, and then with our, I'm using an 1 7/16 inch socket, but I think it's 35 millimeter. This will work fine now. Put this down all the way. Like whit. And so that's it. This filter, this funnel's been dripping for a while, so that's good. Put our cap back on. Go fire this mess up. And hopefully after a few hundred miles, this Rev X will start doing its job. So, alright, now that's all buttoned up, we can go ahead and start it. But you might, some people might be wondering, why are you doing a injector why are you trying to remedy injector issue by putting Rev X oil treatment in? Because shouldn't you be doing it in the fuel? Well, there is a Rev X product for the fuel, and that adds right to the gas or the fuel tank, and I'll probably do that. But the way this oil treatment works for injectors is these injectors are they're hydraulically actuated. So what that does is the high pressure oil pump pushes on the injector, pushing him to introduce fuel into the cylinders, kind of like a syringe, like your thumb pushing on the back of a syringe to push the fluid through the needle. That's kind of what the oil does. The oil is pushing on the back of the syringe to push the fuel into the cylinders. So after a while, these injectors start getting worn out, and you get some film and some crud inside the injectors, and they don't perform properly. So this Rev X is supposed to eat all that stuff up and hopefully make them work a little better, because if they don't, then your next issue is do an injector replacement. So yeah, so then let's just go fire this thing up and see how it runs. So let's just go crank her over once. The other day I put some new batteries in it. These are those fiber, what are they, fiber core. They're not dry cell, they're like fiber cell. They have like I don't know, you can turn them upside down, and they're shock resistant and all that stuff. I had some batteries in it before, but I don't know, the truck wasn't cranking over like I wanted it to. It just didn't seem fast enough. So let me just check here. I have 15 quarts of oil in, I got the Rev X in, I got the plug back in, I got the filter in, so we're ready to go. Alright, so the oil gauge goes shooting right up once everything gets pressurized, and we're good to go. So now you might be able to stick a part of the video in where I filmed it earlier, cold starting it and how rough it sounded. Right now it sounds pretty good, but I'll stick that in there and show you what it sounded like before. And then hopefully we get a cold day and a couple 100 miles, and I'll be able to start it cold again and see if it starts any better. So until the next time, please rate, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching.